So we decided, why don't they just DJ for us? And so it was pretty cool, but I think part of the problem was that in the dance community we have a huge library of songs that we're used to hearing that are sort of part of all our traditions and our culture, and to have someone else sort of come in and kind of late to that, or someone who's from more of like a electronic DJ background, they can't really tap into that easily because there's not really like a Wikipedia list or anything like that that you can just look up and then download it all. It's something you have to, even as a dancer, if you're not a DJ, like you have to learn about all of that stuff progressively coming up with culture. So it was a little bit weird to have them do that, but I think the event went well. We didn't really have anybody from the community come out because I specifically wanted it to be focused with people in tech, so that it could sort of, we still had control over it, because I knew that if I opened the doors and I didn't have, at the time I wasn't really that present in the community, it would either get hijacked or it would get, people would recognize that it was a free event with no prize money. People, for what I know, they weren't really doing that at the time, so, or that wasn't a common thing in Atlanta. So I was worried that people would get annoyed, they'd think that it was something that it wasn't, just having not read the full Facebook description or whatever. So the first two times we did that in fall of 2013 and then spring of 2014. Both those times it was very low-key, just people from the tech community, and then from there we started to let more people in after that.
So I guess you also started opening your practices to people outside the community, right?
Yeah, so part of that was, like I said, we started off with the CRC, the Campus Rec Center, and that continued until fall of 2013, I believe. That was the last semester where we only did practices there. And then in spring of 2014, we started to migrate our practices to the Van Leer building, which is just it's the electrical engineering building, and they just were generally had spaces of classrooms open. There was tile floor, and they had speakers that weren't great, but they were pretty loud inside the projector system.
Mm-hmm.
So basically everything we needed to practice, except for they had tables on the floor that we could move. So all we had to do was clear the room and then put it back when we started and ended. So it was a small price to pay for a nice, small but very intimate and more, a lot more productive environment for us. And part of that was also just having less sort of scheduled, structured practices where everybody just sort of doing their own thing, and having more just sort of sessions and just hanging out and dancing, and less sort of we're here for textiles practice and we're practicing right now type of stuff.
Do you think that the new setting has helped your club become more intimate?
Well, so that lasted for I think 3 semesters. We ended up getting kicked out of that building, but we have always had CRC practices, and then 2014 spring we did CRC in Van Leer. Fall of 2014 we started having mostly Van Leer, still CRC practices. Spring 2015, I believe we were still having mostly Van Leer practices and some CRC practices, and then after that semester we got kicked out of that building. So now, but at the same time, they started, the student center built the Peachtree Room, which is the only room in the entire building that has hardwood floors. So we started booking that building, and then also using a place on campus called the Student Success Center. They have a tile floor basement, or a linoleum floor basement, which is generally open to reservation. So that's become our new sort of home base for practices. And since doing all those things, especially Van Leer, you and Cleo and people from the community started coming out, as well as when we moved to the Student Success Center, other people from the community, Ron the Great, people like Taj, good just because when people see different levels of dance, they get to be a little bit more inspired.
So well, I guess for you, you're like at the end of your college career, well, at least your undergraduate career.
Mm-hmm.
So what's on your mind, like, in terms of transitioning the club, and like, are you gonna go out with a bang?
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to like kind of throw an event as I leave, but I'm focused more on like making sure that the Southbound, which is the other event that we throw here, um, it's happened twice before. The first time it happened was in summer of 2014, and um, it was there were a few reasons why it was like notable in the greater landscape of Atlanta. First, there were two judges who basically don't. Well, one of them doesn't judge at all in the United States for the most part. Um, Brian Green,
Yeah.
and then the other one basically has never been to this area of the country, Popping Peak.
Oh.
And so the two of them kind of headlining the event, and Brian Green is one of my teachers and mentors in house dance and just dance in general. And so he supported me helping throw that event, investing in the event, and helping me to throw it. So it wasn't really textiles throwing that, it was more so me and him. And then the second time around, we did it in fall of 2015, and that was a really big success. And the reason the first one was notable was also because it was the first time we did a house battle in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, in the state, there's never been one before. So then, going into fall 2015 Southbound, we were focused on bringing in kind of a different level of talent. I have to say, like, Brian and I didn't exactly agree at the end of that event, of the first event, and our relationship was kind of strained as a result. But going into the second one, I felt more confident that I could do it on my own with the help of the club and not needing an outside person to help me. And that event worked out pretty well, and it was the first time that B-Boy Free had come to Georgia, and so that was pretty cool because a lot of people have been big fans of him, especially in the B-Boy community. So that was cool. But now we're going into our third one in February 2017, and I guess I'm just trying to find the best ways to make it what I want it to be. Like, since this is my last chance